If you're a man over 60 and you've noticed your erections growing softer, less reliable, or disappearing altogether, I want you to really pay attention because what I'm about to share may change everything you thought you knew about aging. Right now, countless men your age wake up each morning feeling a knot of frustration and confusion in their gut, wondering if this is simply the price of getting older. You might feel a twinge of shame when you can't perform the way you used to, or worry that you've lost a piece of what made you feel like a man. But here's a truth almost nobody talks about. The real reason for that decline might have almost nothing to do with age itself. Instead, it could be rooted in something you're not eating, something as simple as the nuts sitting in your pantry. Imagine waking up tomorrow with renewed confidence knowing that a small change to your daily routine could set your body back on track. What if those nuts, those ordinary, easy-to-find snacks, contain nutrients that boost blood flow, support hormone production, and revive the strength of erections you assumed were gone for good? In just a moment, you'll learn about 5 specific nuts that have helped men in their 70s and 80s wake up with morning wood as strong as they felt in their 40s. We'll explore exactly how each nut works, what makes it so powerful for men over 60, and how just 1 or 2 handfuls per day can rebuild the foundation of your sexual health. You may have been told that pill-based solutions are your only option, or that erectile decline is simply an unavoidable part of aging. But the truth is far simpler and far more natural. Before we dive into those 5 game-changing nuts, let's acknowledge what you might be feeling right now. Embarrassment that you can't perform like you used to, frustration at endless doctor visits, and perhaps a fear that your best years are behind you. I want you to know you're not alone, and you are not broken. There's a way forward that doesn't involve expensive medications or invasive procedures. It starts with nutrition, real whole food nutrients designed by nature itself to keep your body functioning at its peak. In a moment, I'll reveal the first nut and explain why it's become a cornerstone of renewed masculinity for so many men over 60. But before that, take a deep breath and allow yourself to believe this age doesn't have to mean decline. You still have the power to reclaim strength, confidence, and the pleasure you deserve. Let's get started. My name is Dr. Henry Carter. I'm a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience treating men's health issues, including hormone imbalances and erectile dysfunction. Over the decades, I've worked with thousands of men, from veterans who served our country to busy executives juggling demanding careers to retirees who simply want to enjoy life again. Through my practice, I've seen firsthand how simple nutritional changes can transform sexual health in men well into their 70s and 80s. When I first encountered patients who believed their best days were behind them, I felt that same frustration drive my medical curiosity. I began digging into nutritional research and clinical studies, looking for natural, sustainable ways to support male vitality without immediately resorting to prescribed pills or invasive procedures. I discovered that when we address underlying nutrient deficiencies and support circulation and hormone balance, the body often responds in ways textbooks don't fully capture. I've had men come to me convinced they'd never be able to perform again, only to report that within weeks of integrating targeted nutrients into their diet, their erections returned stronger than they remembered. These are not miracle pills or fleeting gimmicks. They're nutrients that have been part of the human diet for centuries, yet their powerful effects on men over 60 often go unnoticed. I firmly believe that by understanding how to leverage these natural foods, any man, even you, can reclaim confidence, feel more connected to his partner, and experience sexual health that rivals what he enjoyed decades ago. With that in mind, let's move into the next section and uncover the first of those 5 essential nuts that can make a world of difference. Myth busting. Most men assume that once you hit 60, declining sexual performance is simply the unavoidable price you pay for aging. You might have heard well-meaning friends or even doctors say, "It's normal, just be thankful you can still walk." But let's be honest, when you wake up one morning and notices your erections are not what they used to be, it doesn't feel normal. It feels unfair. It feels like you're losing a vital part of yourself. Here's the hard truth: age alone is rarely the real culprit. When we examine what's happening at a deeper level, 2 main issues emerge. First, many men lack essential nutrients that support testosterone production and optimal blood vessel function. As hormone levels dip and circulation slows, erections naturally become harder to achieve and maintain. Second, cultural myths around just take a pill have convinced countless men that pharmaceuticals are their only option, ignoring the fact that pills like Viagra address symptoms but do not tackle the root causes. Think about it. If you drive a car that starts sputtering, you don't merely slap a temporary patch on the exhaust pipe and expect everything to run smoothly forever. You investigate what's causing the sputter, whether it's old spark plugs, clogged filters, or worn-out belts, and you fix the underlying problem. The same principle applies to your body. You wouldn't just keep turning up the volume on a broken amplifier, you'd repair the circuitry. Yet too many men believe their bodies are broken simply because they've grown older. Meanwhile, pharmaceutical ads have conditioned us to believe that pills are the only solution. You've seen the commercials showing smiling couples in candlelit bedrooms, promising cinematic renewal. But here's the catch: those medications can carry side effects, costs, and long-term risks that aren't always fully disclosed. They might help you achieve an erection in the moment, but they do nothing to support the tissues, hormones, and blood vessels that underpin sustained sexual health. So let's bust the myth right now. You do not have to accept erosion of your virility as an inevitable fact of life. Nature has provided a far more holistic, time-tested approach. By nourishing your body with the right foods and nutrients, something we'll explore in just a bit, you can address the true drivers of erectile strength, robust blood flow, healthy arteries, and balanced hormones. Before we dive into those 5 nuts that can unlock superior circulation and drive testosterone production, keep in mind this isn't about rejecting modern medicine. It's about acknowledging that when you fix the root problems, nutrient gaps compromise circulation and hormonal decline, you give yourself a chance to perform at your best day after day without relying exclusively on short-term fixes. Now let's move forward to the solution teas and see exactly how simple nutrition can turn the tide. Now, before we dive into the specifics of each nut, let's talk about why these 5 simple dietary additions can outperform most quick-fix solutions you've tried. In just a few moments, you'll learn how Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios, and macadamias each deliver unique nutrients that directly address the root causes of weakened erections, nutrient shortfalls, sluggish circulation, and hormonal imbalance. We'll explore the exact mechanisms behind each nut, show you practical ways to incorporate them into your daily routine, and reveal a bonus bedtime nut strategy that takes your overnight recovery and morning performance to the next level. But this isn't theory. These nuts aren't expensive specialty powders that sit on a shelf gathering dust. They're ordinary, easy-to-find foods, often cheaper than the cost of a single prescription refill, that pack a powerful punch for men over 60. By the end of this video, you'll know precisely how to rebuild your body's natural ability to produce nitric oxide, support testosterone synthesis, and protect artery health. As we move forward, I encourage you to commit to one thing in open mind. Even if you've tried supplements or meal plans before without much success, give these nutrient-rich nuts a fair shake. Small, consistent changes compound over time, and before you know it, you'll start noticing improvements in your energy, confidence, and yes, erections that feel stronger than you thought possible at this stage of life. If you're ready to take control of your sexual health without relying solely on pills, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss any of the detailed guidance ahead. And let me know in the comments, have you ever tried adding nuts to your diet for health benefits? Type 2 if you've experimented before, or type 0 if this is completely new territory. Your feedback helps me tailor these videos precisely to your needs. All right, let's get right into it and uncover the first game-changing nut on our list. Nut number 1, Brazil nuts. Selenium powerhouse for testosterone and circulation. Gentlemen, let's begin with a nut you might overlook entirely, but that holds the key to reigniting testosterone production and protecting your vascular health: Brazil nuts. These large, creamy nuts are most notable for being among the richest dietary sources of selenium on the planet. If you've never given much thought to selenium, now is the time, because as men age, selenium becomes a cornerstone nutrient for hormone balance, antioxidant defense, and ultimately erectile strength. Here's how it works. Selenium plays a critical role in the production of glutathione, one of the body's most potent antioxidants. When your cells, particularly the cells lining your blood vessels, are spared from oxidative damage, circulation improves. Healthy blood vessels can relax and deliver robust blood flow to every part of your body, including the arteries that feed the penis. As we get older, oxidative stress and inflammation tend to accumulate, slowly impairing endothelial function. That means blood vessels become stiffer, less responsive, and less capable of supplying the surge of blood required for firm, lasting erections. By ensuring you have an abundant supply of selenium, you bolster glutathione synthesis, protect your endothelial cells, and support smooth, unhindered blood flow. Beyond its vascular benefits, selenium is intimately linked to testosterone production. A number of clinical studies have confirmed that men with low selenium levels tend to have lower testosterone and poorer sperm profiles. For instance, a European trial involving older men found that those who consumed higher amounts of selenium demonstrated better hormonal profiles compared to those deficient in this mineral. In practical terms, if your body lacks selenium, the biochemical pathways that generate testosterone can stall. And since testosterone is the master hormone governing libido, energy, mood, and yes, erectile capacity, failing to supply enough selenium essentially starves your endocrine system of the raw materials it needs to function optimally. So why Brazil nuts? Most dietary sources of selenium, like organ meats or seafood, can be expensive, hard to find, or have undesirable taste profiles for some. In contrast, Brazil nuts are simple, affordable, and often available in any grocery aisle. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts each morning can supply more than 100% of your daily selenium requirement. That means you're not spending money on dozens of different supplements. You're simply reaching for a handful of nuts and giving your body exactly what it needs to reignite hormone production and protect your blood vessels. Now let's talk specifics. A single Brazil nut can contain anywhere from 68 to 91 micrograms of selenium, depending on the soil in which the tree grew. The recommended dietary allowance for selenium in adult men is roughly 55 micrograms per day. Therefore, eating just 1 Brazil nut can cover your needs and then some. However, it's crucial not to overdo it. More than 2 or 3 Brazil nuts per day can lead to excessive selenium intake, which in rare cases can cause digestive discomfort, hair loss, or mild toxicity symptoms. For most men over 61 to 2 Brazil nuts each morning, perhaps with your coffee or oatmeal, strikes the perfect balance between efficacy and safety. Imagine this: you wake up, measure out 1 Brazil nut, and toss it into a small bowl next to your morning coffee mug. As you sip your coffee, you snack on that Brazil nut, knowing that with each creamy bite, you're providing your body with the precise selenium it needs to protect your blood vessels and feed your testosterone factories. In the first week, you might not notice dramatic changes, but by week 2 or 3, small shifts will begin to emerge. You'll likely feel subtle improvements in energy and mood as your antioxidant defenses ramp up. Your partner might mention that you seem more engaged and present, and most notably, you may begin to notice firmer morning erections for many men. This is the first clear sign that something positive is happening beneath the surface. Let's dive a bit deeper into the science behind selenium's role in testosterone synthesis. Testosterone is manufactured primarily in the Leydig cells of the testes, and adequate selenium levels are essential for the enzymes that drive this process. Without sufficient selenium, your body struggles to convert cholesterol into the cascade of hormones that ultimately produces testosterone. That's why older men whose selenium intake often drops due to dietary changes or impaired absorption see a parallel decline in testosterone levels. By reintroducing selenium-rich Brazil nuts into your diet, you're essentially refueling the engine that keeps your testosterone levels from plummeting. But selenium's benefits don't stop there. You'll also experience broader health advantages, such as improved immune function, stabilized mood, and enhanced cognitive clarity. As selenium supports glutathione synthesis, your cells become more resilient against daily wear and tear, from environmental toxins to normal metabolic byproducts. This means fewer days of brain fog, less systemic inflammation, and a more robust immune response. In turn, when your overall health feels sturdier, your confidence in the bedroom naturally follows suit. There's a psychological boost that comes from knowing your body is being nourished at a deep cellular level, preparing you to perform with calm assurance rather than stress. Of course, anecdotal evidence often speaks as loudly as clinical research. I've worked with men in their 70s who were convinced they'd never feel peak performance again after years of struggling with diminished libido. One gentleman in particular, let's call him Robert, came to me complaining of weak, inconsistent erections and low energy. He had tried prescription medications, but the side effects left him feeling anxious and disconnected. When we discussed his diet, I discovered he rarely consumed selenium-rich foods. I asked him to incorporate one Brazil nut into his breakfast each day. Within 3 weeks, Robert reported waking up with a morning erection he hadn't seen in 5 years. His energy returned, his mood lifted, and his relationship with his wife was rejuvenated. That's not an isolated story, it's a pattern I've observed time and again. Now you might be wondering if Brazil nuts alone are enough to reverse every instance of erectile decline. The answer is no. Nutritional support is just one piece of the puzzle. But if you combine Brazil nuts with the other 4 nuts we'll discuss, as well as healthy lifestyle habits, you're assembling a comprehensive strategy, one that tackles hormone production, circulatory health, nutrient status, and oxidative defense. And it begins here with those 2 or 3 Brazil nuts each morning that give you a foundation of selenium so you can build from the inside out. Let's wrap up this section by summarizing the key points. Brazil nuts are unrivaled in selenium content, and selenium is essential for testosterone synthesis and protecting blood vessel linings through glutathione production. Eating 1 to 2 Brazil nuts each day is a simple, cost-effective way to ensure you meet and often exceed your daily selenium requirement. By doing so, you help your body overcome nutrient deficiencies that commonly afflict men over 60, allowing your hormones and circulation to function as they were designed. As you continue to incorporate Brazil nuts into your routine, observations like firmer morning erections, improved mood, and higher energy levels will become your new baseline reality. Now that you understand why Brazil nuts are a game changer, get ready for the next step. We'll explore how walnuts supercharge nitric oxide production and further enhance circulation, building on the groundwork you just laid with selenium. Together, these strategies will begin to rewrite what you once believed about aging, energy, and erectile health. Let's keep going. Nut number 2, walnuts, nature's nitric oxide and omega-3 boost. Now let's move on to the second nut that can revolutionize your circulatory health and give you erections that feel as solid as they did decades ago: walnuts. These unassuming brain-shaped nuts contain a powerhouse of nutrients, chief among them L-arginine and omega-3 fatty acids that directly support nitric oxide production and reduce inflammation in your blood vessels. In simpler terms, walnuts are nature's solution for opening up your arteries and sending a surge of oxygen-rich blood to wherever it needs to go, including the part of your anatomy that matters most. Think of nitric oxide as your body's internal vasodilator. When you get aroused, your brain sends signals to produce nitric oxide, which tells the smooth muscle cells in your blood vessel walls to relax. As those walls relax, the vessel widens, allowing a rush of blood into the corpora cavernosa, the spongy chambers inside the penis that fill up and create an erection. But as men age, the body's ability to produce nitric oxide tends to decline. That's where L-arginine comes in. It's the amino acid your body converts into nitric oxide. Without a steady supply of L-arginine, your system can't make enough nitric oxide, and that makes it harder to achieve and sustain a firm erection. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of L-arginine available anywhere. A moderate serving, about 6 to 8 walnut halves, provides roughly 1.5 to 2 grams of L-arginine. To put that in perspective, many over-the-counter nitric oxide supplements use synthetic forms of L-arginine, or its close cousin, L-citrulline. With walnuts, you're getting that same building block in its most natural, unprocessed form. What's more, walnuts are packed with heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids, primarily alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation in your arteries, lower triglycerides, and improve overall cardiovascular function. Inflamed or stiff arteries cannot dilate properly, and that can choke off blood flow not only to your heart and brain, but also to your penis. By incorporating walnuts into your daily routine, you're tackling both sides of the equation. You're giving your body the L-arginine it needs to produce nitric oxide, and the omega-3s it needs to keep your arteries flexible and responsive. Let's delve into the science a little deeper. A well-known clinical study followed men in their 60s and 70s who ate 3 ounces of pistachios, daily weight pistachios, not walnuts, and saw a marked improvement in erectile function within just 3 weeks. Although that trial focused on pistachios, a similar body of research shows that walnuts yield comparable benefits because of their high L-arginine content. Inflammation and oxidative stress cause the lining of blood vessels, known as the endothelium, to function poorly. When endothelial cells can't respond to signals for vasodilation, it's nearly impossible to achieve an erection without pharmaceuticals. But because walnuts supply both L-arginine and anti-inflammatory omega-3s, they help the endothelium become more responsive again. Within a few weeks of daily walnut intake, men often begin reporting firmer morning erections and improved overall responsiveness when aroused. Now here's how to integrate walnuts into your life in a practical, sustainable way. Aim for 6 to 8 walnut halves each day, roughly 1 ounce or about a small handful. You can snack on them mid-morning as a satisfying alternative to processed chips or sweets. Sprinkle them over your salad at lunchtime for a delicious crunch, or mix them into your breakfast yogurt. If you're the type who likes a pre-workout boost, munching on walnuts about 30 minutes before hitting the gym can give you an extra burst of nitric oxide precursors just when you need them for improved endurance. The key is consistency, daily moderate portions that become a habit rather than a chore. Let's talk about what you can realistically expect when you commit to a walnut routine. In the first week or so, you may notice minor changes, slightly more stable energy throughout the afternoon, a feeling of fullness that keeps you from snacking on sugars that spike your blood sugar. By the second week, you might begin waking up with mild morning wood more frequently. Your heart may feel less labored when climbing stairs, and you may sense your arteries are less tight because your body is fighting inflammation. By the third or fourth week, the difference becomes unmistakable. When aroused, your erections feel firmer and more reliable. Your partner may notice you seem more confident and present. In fact, I've had patients tell me that within 3 weeks of daily walnut intake, they experienced their first spontaneous erection in years without the aid of pills. Of course, walnuts are not a cure-all. If you have advanced vascular disease or uncontrolled diabetes, you'll need comprehensive medical care. But for the majority of men over 60 who struggle with mild to moderate erectile decline, walnuts can be the catalyst that reactivates your body's innate ability to perform. And because walnuts also support brain health, joint flexibility, and mood stability, you'll find that improvements in sexual performance are just one of many positive side effects. Many of my patients report clearer thinking, reduced joint stiffness, and a general sense of well-being that spills over into every aspect of their life. That's the beauty of working with real nutrient-dense foods. They don't fix one problem in isolation, they uplift your entire system. Now let's address a few common concerns. First, calories. Walnuts are calorie-dense. 1 ounce packs about 185 calories. If you're watching your weight, it's essential to measure your portions with a scale or measuring cup. Don't mindlessly toss walnuts into your mouth while watching TV. Instead, portion out exactly 6 to 8 halves and focus on enjoying them, slowly savoring each bite. Second, allergies. If you've never had a walnut before, take a small sample, first chew it thoroughly, and wait a couple of hours to ensure you don't have an adverse reaction. If you're allergic to tree nuts in general, you'll need to find alternative sources of L-arginine, such as pumpkin seeds or lean meats. But for most men, walnuts remain the top choice. Finally, let's talk about when to consume walnuts for maximum effect. If you're primarily concerned about daytime function, say you want more reliable erections for afternoon or evening activity, incorporate walnuts around midday or early afternoon. If you're looking to build a steady reservoir of nitric oxide precursors, integrating walnuts consistently throughout the day is fine. For example, 3 halves with breakfast, 3 halves mid-afternoon. However, avoid eating a large quantity immediately before bedtime if you're sensitive to dietary fiber. During the night, some men find walnuts can cause mild indigestion if eaten too close to lying down. Experiment with timing until you find what works best for your body. Let's recap the key takeaways for walnuts. They supply L-arginine to fuel nitric oxide production. They deliver omega-3s that reduce arterial inflammation, and they support overall cardiovascular health. When your blood vessels can expand smoothly and pump nutrient-rich blood effectively, you're giving your penis the best possible environment to achieve a firm, lasting erection. And because walnuts also boost brain function, mood, and joint comfort, you'll notice improvements that extend far beyond the bedroom. In summary, by making walnuts a daily part of your diet, 6 to 8 halves every day, you harness a natural, time-tested solution to reclaim your circulatory vitality and erectile performance. Over the next few weeks, pay attention to how your body responds, the small upticks in energy, the firmer morning wood, the improved confidence. Those subtle signals are your body's way of telling you, yes, this is working. Up next, we'll explore the third nut on our list. Almonds, the nutrient trifecta that supports hormone balance through magnesium, zinc, and antioxidant protection. Together, these strategies build on the foundation set by Brazil nuts and walnuts, creating a comprehensive blueprint for revitalizing your sexual health after 60. Let's continue. Nut number 3, almonds, the essential nutrient trio for hormones, energy, and erection strength. Almonds may look unassuming, but for men over 60 seeking to rebuild hormonal balance and boost overall vitality, they are a game changer. You see, almonds pack a powerful trifecta of magnesium, zinc, and vitamin E, 3 nutrients that most men simply aren't getting enough of as they age. When these key ingredients are missing, your body's ability to maintain healthy testosterone levels, support smooth blood flow, and protect your arteries takes a serious hit. By adding just a small handful of almonds to your daily routine, you can shore up these critical nutrient gaps and set yourself on the path to stronger, more reliable erections. Let's start with magnesium. Nearly half of all older adults fail to meet the recommended intake for this mineral. Yet magnesium is absolutely essential for relaxing blood vessel walls, regulating nerve function, and supporting muscle performance. When your arteries can't properly relax, blood flow becomes restricted. That restricted flow often shows up first as erectile weakness. In simpler terms, magnesium acts like nature's own relaxer on the smooth muscle lining inside your blood vessels. Without it, arteries become tight and sluggish, and the surge of blood needed to create a firm erection is compromised. Almonds deliver about 80 milliliters of magnesium in a 1 ounce, roughly 23 nut, serving nearly 20% of your daily requirement. By incorporating almonds into your diet, you help your blood vessels stay supple and responsive, laying a solid foundation for improved circulation. Next up, there's zinc. Often called the male mineral, zinc plays a central role in testosterone synthesis, sperm formation, and overall sexual health. Unfortunately, studies show that zinc absorption becomes less efficient with age, and many older men develop subclinical deficiencies without even knowing it. A small handful of almonds supplies around 1 milliliter of zinc, enough to make a meaningful contribution toward the 11 milliliter per day that men over 60 should aim for. When your body lacks sufficient zinc, testosterone production stalls, libido wanes and semen quality declines. By contrast, restoring adequate zinc levels revs up your endocrine system, giving your testes the raw materials they need to maintain healthy testosterone output. If you've ever felt a dip in drive or energy that seemed to come from nowhere, zinc may be the missing piece. Finally, almonds are loaded with vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that protects cell membranes throughout your body, including the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessels. Vitamin E neutralizes free radicals that can damage arteries, leading to stiffness, plaque buildup, and impaired blood flow. In men over 60, vascular health is often compromised by years of oxidative stress, smoking, poor diet, environmental toxins, and natural wear and tear. By shielding your arteries from oxidative damage, vitamin E ensures that nitric oxide signaling, the same process we discussed with walnuts, operates smoothly. In other words, vitamin E safeguards the very system responsible for expanding blood vessels and delivering the oxygen-rich blood you need for firm, lasting erections. Now let's talk specifics. A single 1 ounce 23 nut serving of raw or dry roasted almonds provides roughly 80 milliliters of magnesium, 1 milliliter of zinc, and about 7 milliliters of vitamin E. The recommended dietary allowance for magnesium in men over 60 is 420 milliliters per day, and for zinc, it's 11 milliliters per day. That means a 1 ounce serving of almonds covers close to 20% of your magnesium needs and nearly 10% of your zinc requirements, while also delivering a substantial dose of vitamin E. That may not sound like a lot at first glance, but when you layer almonds alongside other nutrient sources throughout your day, you quickly build a consistent supply of these essential minerals. Here's how to integrate almonds into your routine for maximum impact. Start by measuring out about 10 to 12 raw almonds, roughly 1 small handful each morning or mid-morning. If you enjoy oatmeal, sprinkle almonds on top for added texture and nutritional punch. If you're a yogurt fan, toss a few almonds into your mid-afternoon snack. Another option is to use almond butter. A tablespoon of natural unsweetened almond butter can be spread on whole grain toast or stirred into a smoothie. Whichever method you choose, the key is consistency. Daily intake of almonds will maintain stable magnesium and zinc levels, supporting your sleep, mood, and vascular health simultaneously. Let's discuss what you can expect in terms of real-world results. In the first week of consistent almond consumption, you may notice subtle improvements in sleep quality and energy stability. Magnesium helps calm your nervous system, making it easier to drift into deep, restorative sleep, crucial because most of your testosterone is produced during the deepest sleep cycles. Better sleep means higher hormone production overnight, which translates into stronger morning erections. By week 2, you might experience fewer muscle cramps and less occasional stiffness thanks to magnesium's muscle-relaxing properties. At the same time, adequate zinc levels begin to provide a slight uptick in libido and overall drive. By the 3rd and 4th weeks, you should start noticing a more tangible difference in erection quality. When aroused, your body will have the mineral support it needs to produce sufficient nitric oxide for those critical vasodilation events. That translates into firmer, more reliable erections and improved stamina. Your partner may notice a shift in your confidence. Simply knowing you're nourishing your body can provide a psychological boost that enhances performance as well. And remember, almonds don't just improve sexual health. Many of my patients tell me they feel mentally sharper with increased focus and reduced brain fog. They experience fewer afternoon energy crashes because healthy fats and protein in almonds help stabilize blood sugar, another key factor in maintaining robust vascular and endocrine function. Of course, it's important to keep calories in mind. A 1-ounce serving of almonds contains about 160 calories and 14 grams of fat, mostly monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. If you're managing your weight, be sure to measure your portions with a kitchen scale or measuring cup rather than mindlessly grabbing a handful. Eating almonds slowly and mindfully will help you appreciate their satisfying crunch and prevent overeating. If you're tracking macros or calories, simply log that 1-ounce serving and adjust other snacks accordingly. Allergies deserve a brief mention here as well. If you've never consumed almonds, start with a small test portion, maybe 3 or 4 nuts, to ensure you don't have an adverse reaction. If you discover an allergy or sensitivity, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds can supply some magnesium and zinc, though they lack the same vitamin E content. In that case, you may need to rely more heavily on leafy greens for magnesium and lean meats for zinc. But for most men, almonds remain the tastiest, most convenient choice. One of the most powerful psychological benefits of almonds is how they help you feel in control again. When you recognize that nutrient gaps, not just getting old, are responsible for your weakened performance, you shift from a mindset of resignation to one of action. You're no longer waiting for a prescription or counting down the days until the pharmacy opens. You're making a tangible change with each handful of nuts, and that sense of agency is incredibly empowering. Over time, as your body responds, you'll find yourself looking forward to almond time, knowing you're refueling your body's engines for hormone production, vascular health, and overall vigor. As you continue this journey, keep an eye on how you feel, not only in the bedroom, but in everyday life. Your energy levels, your mood stability, your mental clarity. These small wins often translate into bigger lifestyle improvements. You might find yourself more motivated to go for a walk, tackle a project around the house, or simply engage more fully with loved ones. That's the ripple effect of giving your body the nutrients it craves. Everything begins working in concert rather than in isolated silos. To summarize this section, almonds deliver a potent combination of magnesium for blood vessel relaxation, zinc for testosterone synthesis, and vitamin E for endothelial protection. By committing to roughly 10 to 12 almonds per day, you fill crucial nutrient gaps, support deep sleep and hormonal balance, and give your circulatory system the tools it needs to forge firm erections. Combined with the benefits you've already gained from Brazil nuts and walnuts, adding almonds to your arsenal propels you even closer to reclaiming lasting sexual vitality after 60. Next, we'll explore how a targeted supplement, Nitric Boost, can seamlessly complement this nut-based foundation, ensuring you never run low on nitric oxide precursors on busy days or during periods of higher stress. Let's move on. Your secret weapon for circulation and vitality. When you think about the nutrients we've covered so far, selenium from Brazil nuts, L-arginine from walnuts and pistachios, magnesium and zinc from almonds, and monounsaturated fats from macadamias, you begin to see how each piece plays a vital role in rebuilding your vascular health and hormonal balance. Yet even with perfect consistency, busy days or travel can disrupt your intake. That's where Nitric Boost comes in, a scientifically formulated supplement designed to fill in those gaps and ensure you're never running low on nitric oxide precursors, antioxidants, or key cofactors for healthy blood flow. Imagine waking up on a day when you've been on the road, your hotel breakfast lacks the nuts you usually rely on, and you're facing meetings or errands that pull you away from your typical meal schedule. With Nitric Boost, you carry a compact, convenient way to maintain momentum. Its core ingredients, L-citrulline beetroot extract, green tea polyphenols, and vitamin C work synergistically with the nuts you eat on other days to amplify nitric oxide production, protect endothelial cells, and support antioxidant defenses. Let's start with L-citrulline. While walnuts and pistachios supply L-arginine directly, L-citrulline is converted into L-arginine within your kidneys, providing a sustained boost in nitric oxide over several hours. This matters because when you're busy or under stress, your body's demand for nitric oxide increases. L-citrulline bridges the gap, ensuring you have a steady stream of nitric oxide precursors on board, even if your dietary intake dips below optimal levels. In clinical trials, men who supplemented with L-citrulline reported significant improvements in erection hardness and duration within just 14 to 21 days. When combined with the L-arginine from your daily nuts, you create a robust, layered approach, long-lasting nitric oxide support from L-citrulline, and immediate precursors from nuts. Next up is beetroot extract. Beetroot is nature's powerhouse of dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide via a separate pathway. Think of beetroot as the accelerant that supercharges your nitric oxide production when you need it most during times of physical stress, whether you're exercising, tackling work deadlines, or managing life's everyday pressures. Evidence shows that a daily serving of beetroot extract can reduce blood pressure, improve vascular function, and enhance exercise performance. When you combine beetroot with the nutrient-dense nuts we've discussed, you're activating multiple pathways to keep your blood vessels wide open and nourished with oxygen-rich blood. Green tea polyphenols, particularly epigallocatechin, gallate, or EGCG, round out Nitric Boost's antioxidant profile. These compounds neutralize free radicals that threaten the health of your endothelial cells, preventing oxidative damage that leads to arterial stiffness over time. While the nuts you eat deliver their own antioxidant benefits like vitamin E in almonds and polyphenols in macadamias, green tea polyphenols offer another layer of protection, especially during high-stress periods when oxidative stress increases. By safeguarding your arteries around the clock, Nitric Boost and your daily nuts join forces to create an environment where nitric oxide can thrive rather than being quickly degraded by free radicals. Finally, vitamin C is included because it plays a pivotal role in recycling nitric oxide molecules and supporting collagen formation within your vascular walls. Collagen is the structural protein that keeps your arteries elastic and resilient. As you age, collagen production naturally slows, which can contribute to stiffening vessels and restricted blood flow. By providing an ample supply of vitamin C, Nitric Boost helps your body maintain healthy arterial walls and ensures that nitric oxide remains bioavailable for longer periods. Now, you might be wondering how to integrate Nitric Boost without overcomplicating your routine. Picture yourself on a day when you're away from home and you can't peel off your normal snacks. You simply mix 1 scoop of Nitric Boost with water, no measuring handfuls of nuts required. From that point on, you're assuring your body has all the building blocks it needs for optimal blood flow, whether you're at lunch in a meeting or gearing up for an evening of intimacy. On days when you do have your nuts, continue to enjoy your Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios, macadamias, and bedtime walnuts as usual. Nitric Boost steps in as an insurance policy, supporting your nitric oxide levels, reinforcing antioxidant defenses, and contributing additional cofactors for hormone synthesis. You might ask, isn't relying on a supplement less natural than food? The answer lies in synergy. Think of Nitric Boost as the bridge that connects and enhances all the natural nutrients you consume through your 5-nut regimen. It's not a substitute for real food, it's a strategic complement. When you maintain consistency with your nuts most days and then rely on nitric boost during unpredictable schedules, you achieve a fuller, more reliable spectrum of support for your vascular and endocrine systems. We all know life can get hectic. This is simply a practical way to ensure no day is wasted, no matter where you find yourself. In terms of safety, nitric boost is free from stimulants, no caffeine or artificial additives, because the goal is to support healthy, consistent nitric oxide production without disrupting your sleep or spiking your heart rate. It's also sugar-free, gluten-free, and formulated without common allergens. If you're already taking medications, especially blood pressure drugs, consult your physician before adding any supplement. But for most men over 60, nitric boost fits seamlessly into a well-rounded, nut-focused approach. Let's touch on expectations. Within the first week of taking nitric boost, you may notice a subtle lift in your energy and mental clarity as improved blood flow reaches your brain. By week 2 or 3, many men report firmer erections when combined with their nut intake, a sign that endothelial function is improving. And because nitric boost supports deeper nitric oxide synthesis at the cellular level, you'll find that even on days you skip nuts, your performance doesn't drop off precipitously. You maintain a steady baseline rather than swinging between highs and lows. Ultimately, nitric boost empowers you to be proactive every single day. Whether you're traveling, working late, or simply have an unpredictable schedule, you're not compromising on the nutrient-driven support your body needs. That confidence knowing you have a reliable backup translates into more relaxed intimacy, better sleep, and a more positive outlook on your own health journey. In summary, nitric boost is the strategic complement to your 5-nut regimen. It delivers L-citrulline for sustained nitric oxide, beetroot extract for rapid nitrate-driven vasodilation, green tea polyphenols for antioxidant protection, and vitamin C for vascular resilience. When you combine this supplement with consistent nut consumption, you create an ironclad foundation for superior circulation, hormone production, and erectile strength, even on the busiest of days. Next, we'll wrap up everything we've covered, recap the 6 key strategies, and leave you with a powerful mindset shift that empowers you to reclaim your best years. Let's move on. Wrap up and conclusion. So far, you've learned about 6 powerful strategies that work together to restore your sexual vitality after 60. We began with selenium-rich Brazil nuts to reignite testosterone production and protect your blood vessels. Next, we harnessed the nitric oxide boosting power of walnuts, complemented by anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids to improve circulation. Almonds followed, delivering magnesium, zinc, and vitamin E to balance your hormones, relax arteries, and shield your endothelium. Then came pistachios, backed by clinical research combining L-arginine with antioxidants to enhance erectile function and stabilize blood sugar. Macadamia nuts added another layer of support, supplying monounsaturated fats to optimize cholesterol and safeguard your arteries from oxidative damage. We cemented these daytime strategies with the bedtime walnut trick, eating 6 to 8 walnut halves before sleep provides sustained L-arginine, melatonin, and anti-inflammatory fats that supercharge overnight repair and lead to stronger morning wood. Finally, we introduced Nitric Boost, a convenient supplement that ensures you never run low on nitric oxide precursors, antioxidants, or cofactors, even on busy days when you can't access your nuts. When you put all these pieces together, you're creating a comprehensive 24-hour nutrient-driven approach. During the morning, Portugal nuts and almonds lay the foundation for hormone synthesis and vascular health. Midday, walnuts and pistachios fuel nitric oxide production and reduce inflammation, giving you energy and confidence while stabilizing blood sugar. In the afternoon and evening, macadamias continue to support healthy cholesterol and metabolic balance. Then before bed, your bedtime walnut ritual maximizes overnight hormone synthesis and endothelial repair. On days when life gets hectic, Nitric Boost stands in as an insurance policy, keeping your nitric oxide production on track, protecting your arteries and sustaining antioxidant defenses. This isn't a patchwork of random advice. It's a tightly integrated blueprint designed to rebuild your body's natural capacity for firm, reliable erections while boosting overall health and vitality. A new chapter begins today. If you've made it this far, you've done something most men never do. You've chosen to pay attention to, challenge conventional wisdom, and to learn what your body truly needs to stay strong, capable, and alive. The nuts we discussed. Brazil walnut, almond, pistachio, macadamia, and the bedtime walnut trick aren't magic pills. They're nature's time-tested ingredients that supply the essential nutrients your body loses as it ages. Add nitric boost when you need an extra layer of support, and you'll never have to worry about missing a beat on busy days. Remember, age doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement, growth, and renewed strength. By giving your body the nourishment it craves morning to night, you're telling it, I refuse to settle for less. Over the next few weeks, pay attention to how you feel subtle shifts in energy, firmer morning erections, a steadier mood, more confidence when you wake up and throughout the day. Those small wins compound into profound, lasting improvements in your sexual health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being. You have the power to transform your experience of aging. The fire within you hasn't gone out. It simply needs the right fuel to burn brighter than ever before. So start today, one handful at a time. Your best years may not be behind you, they might just be waiting for you to claim them. If you found value in this roadmap, here's what I want you to do next. Hit the like button to show your commitment to reclaiming your vitality, and subscribe with the notification bell turned on so you never miss another strategy specifically designed for men over 60. Then take a moment right now to commit by leaving a comment with the number of nuts you plan to incorporate into your routine. Whether it's Brazil nuts for selenium, walnuts for nitric oxide, almonds for minerals, pistachios for inflammation control, macadamias for healthy fats, or all five. Your commitment here not only solidifies your intent, but helps others in our community understand they're not alone on this journey. Now share this video with a friend, brother, or father who may need a reminder that age is not an endpoint, but a new beginning. Invite them to join our private Facebook group, link in the description, where men over 60 exchange tips, celebrate small wins, and support one another through challenges. In that group, you'll find recipe ideas, portion tips, and firsthand experiences that reinforce you're making progress every day. Finally, let me leave you with a powerful mindset shift. You are not defined by a number on a birthday cake, and you are not destined to fade into the background. Each hour, each meal, and each handful of nuts you choose is a declaration that you refuse to settle for decline. As you wake up tomorrow, know that you have given your body the exact nutrients it needs to function at its peak, supporting circulation, hormone production, and deep restorative sleep. Remember that the fire within you is still burning. It simply needs the right fuel to blaze brighter than ever. So take that first step tonight, measure out your bedtime walnuts, and embrace the knowledge that you're setting the stage for stronger morning performance. Then tomorrow morning, reach for your Brazil nuts and almonds, knowing every bite is a building block toward the best version of yourself. Over the next few weeks, keep an eye on those small but telling signals: more robust morning wood, steadier energy, clearer thinking, and renewed confidence. Those incremental gains will compound, leading to profound, lasting changes in your sexual health and overall well-being. Your next chapter starts now. Stay curious, stay committed, and let's continue this journey together, one handful at a time.